during the spiritual awakening, there comes a point of surrender. There comes a point where you realize that this is divinely guided. And the more you let go in allowance and you let the universe come in, then also the quicker it goes and also the less pain there is. There is so much pain in the spiritual awakening because we are overcoming our old selves. We are overcoming our ego. We are being reborn. We are shedding layers and layers and layers of old beliefs. And the more we try to, it's like you're going down a river and you're trying to hold on to the sides as you're going. You're going to be going. But the more you try to hold on, first of all, the slower the process is. And secondly, you are trying with your mind to control your spiritual awakening, which, first of all, the spiritual awakening is about the spirit. It's not about the mind. The mind can understand it and can help process it. Everything is a part. But this is about your spiritual awakening. It is beyond the mind. It is at a soul level. It is your connection to your higher self. It is the connection to your divine self. It is the shedding of your old belief system and being born into your natural way of being, or what you were born to be, or your natural state of being. And during this process, we let go of who we thought we are again and again and again and again in all of the different aspects of our life. And everything is connected and intertwined. So once you start on the spiritual path, there is no turning back, because once something starts pulling, or once one belief is changed, or you find something in yourself that is off, then you see that it is like the roots of a tree. It spreads throughout your whole being. You start seeing that everything that you do and every choice that you made is all interconnected with everything else. So as soon as you start tugging at it, it starts tugging at everything else. So there is an amount of surrender that is required and allowance. If we already had all the answers for our spiritual awakening, then we would already be there. So even trying to control it, or trying to see the outcome before you're there, is impossible. Any of you that is on the spiritual awakening know that when you go up a level and it's like going up a stair. You get to a new level where it's like you're looking out over, you get to a higher plane. That's the only way that I can explain it but right now. But you get to a place where everything gets to be, you get to a place where you have a broader perspective. And you realize that before you were there, it's like when you climb a mountain. When you're in the valley, you can't see the valley from above. You have to get to the top of the mountain to be able to see what it looks like below. And you could never know what it's going to be like until you get there. So the thought of trying to control our spiritual awakening and know where it's going before you've gone it's impossible. It's going against the flow. So there is a certain amount of letting go and just trusting that you will be guided. And I know that letting go and the surrender can be a very difficult thing to do, because we want to control it. You feel like you're losing something. You feel like there's a gap. You feel like you're afraid of the unknown. You're also afraid of your own powers. You're afraid to stand up into your own powers. You're afraid that if you release and you lose control, that everything is going to go amiss. And I want to tell you from my own personal experience that when you do let go and you allow the universe to come in and you allow God to come in, you allow your higher self to come in, you allow new perspectives to come in, you allow for the unknown to come in, it's far more broad than you could have ever imagined. You cannot perceive what you don't know. So you have to allow the unknown in order to even perceive it. So there is an amount of surrender and trust and a leap of faith that needs to be taken on this spiritual journey. And there is an amount of holding. That every single, there is no point in beating our own selves up or feeling guilty about things, because that is the natural way of trying to hold on to old beliefs, that grasping. That is also part of the process. So there is no wrong or right. There is simply a knowing. Now, a practical way to go about this is to meditate. Meditation daily. Every morning I get up early so that I have time to meditate, because it really grounds me and connects me to the higher realms before I start my day. Before I get up and I get busy and I get carried away by the practicalities of the day, I'm already connected to those higher planes, and I'm already connected to my higher being, and there is an ease in the day. So even as I'm going through things and things come up, I have that higher connection already, and I'm already very grounded in knowing. So there is magic and power in meditation. Meditate, 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 meditate. If you have a difficult time connecting on your own, you can use music. You can different alpha meditative musics. You can use guided meditation. You can use affirmations. You can meditate sitting. You can meditate laying down. I personally meditate while I'm laying down, just because it is effortless. It is absolutely effortless. So there is no wrong or right way to go about it. It's about finding that connection. It's about going into that state where you transcend the physical and you connect to the non-physical. And it seems like time just stands still. So there is surrender. That part of the spiritual awakening is surrendering. There is pain in the spiritual awakening. It is unavoidable. You have to go through that in order to overcome yourself. So in some aspects, there's an instantaneous understanding. Something comes down and you're just there. And some of the things you just have to go through, and you have to reform the new belief and reform the new belief, and you slip back and you need to reprocess it and reaffirm it. And it's a process, and this takes time, and trust in the process, and trust that it is happening for you, and it is happening. There is no turning back once you're on this. So just trust the process and release and allow yourself to flow into the process, and listen to your intuition and follow your nose, and believe in those dreams. If there is something that you feel that you really want to do, but wait, I have to just do these practical things first. Find the time. Sometimes in the morning I get up and I have all these practical things that I have to do to make a living, which is part of the making, part of living in the 3D form, part of this life experience. And sometimes I'll just tell myself, okay, today you're starting with the aspirations. You're starting with the spiritual growth. You're starting with your dreams. And then if there's time left over, you can get to the practicalities, because the practicalities are going to have to happen in any case. So when I know when I was younger, I'll give an example of when I was learning, I was studying. And I would get these projects, and I already had 2 children at home. And I had all of the house that I had to take care of, and the dishes and the laundry, and the kids had to be fed, and I had to make the meals, and I had to fold the clothes, and I had to do all of those things, the practical things. And so I would say to myself, okay, I'm learning, which is for me. So before I do my projects, I have to make sure that all of my housework and all of the practical things are done. And I found that week after week after week, I never got to my projects because all of the duties, they took over all of my time. And so at some point, I just said, I'm working for my future here. The laundry is always going to be there. 10 years from now, that little pile of clothes on the couch, or big pile of clothes, is not going to make a difference. The kids can eat something that is simple and ready-made. The dishes can sit for a while. The floors don't have to be washed this instant. And I started letting myself off the hook and doing my projects first. And I saw that really, in hindsight, I'm 20 years later, it didn't make a difference. And now I have my education, and I finished my studies with honors. And I have that. That is in escrow. I still have dishes to do. I still have to fold the laundry. But you have to prioritize sometimes your spiritual work above the practical work. And just trust that is what is most important. What is most important in this lifetime is not doing dishes. It is our individual expansion and expanding the all, expanding the universe, and making this experience the most that we can make it. That is the most important thing that we are doing in this existence. That should trump everything. Of course, we have to, part of the spiritual awakening is bringing it down and grounding it into the 3D and living a life that is worth living and with purpose and hygiene. But this is what the essence of life is about. So when we can understand that fully and bring it down into our knowing, then we can start balancing our life better. So I think I went on a spiel. So thank you for watching. Much appreciate you. Please like and subscribe the channel to my channel. I'm going to begin to put affiliates in the description. So go and check it out if there's anything that you like that helps support me so that I can continue on doing my spiritual work, God's work. Sending you so much love. Thank you.